Okay, be honest. Do you ever get to the end of the day, look at your to-do list and just feel frustrated? Like you were busy, you were running around all day, but you didn't actually do anything that mattered? Yeah, you are not alone. We're all in this constant battle for our own attention. So let's dive into this framework from the book, Make Time. It's a really simple but powerful system to help you win that battle, not just once, but every single day.
And just how big is this battle? Well, get ready for this. On average, we spend about 4 hours a day watching TV and another 4 hours on our smartphones. You add that up, and it's 8 hours. 8! Think about what that means. It is literally like working a second unpaid full-time job where your only task is to scroll and watch and react. This number right here just shows how much of our most precious resource, our time, is just slipping right through our fingers.
So, who's to blame for this grand theft of our time? Well, the authors point to two main culprits. Think of them as a tag team of time destroyers that have kind of become the default settings for our modern lives. It's time to meet the villains.
First up, we've got something called the busy bandwagon. You know this one. It's that culture that basically treats being busy like it's a badge of honor. It's that unspoken rule that if your calendar isn't totally packed and your inbox isn't overflowing, well, you must not be working hard enough. The problem, of course, is that this whole mindset traps us in a reactive cycle where we're just constantly putting out fires and responding to other people's priorities, not our own.
And the busy bandwagon's partner in crime? Infinity pools. Think about it. Your social media feeds, news websites, all those streaming platforms, they literally never end. They're designed by geniuses to hijack our brain's ancient wiring for novelty, creating this non-stop dopamine drip that keeps us hooked and scrolling way longer than we ever meant to.
So what do? Our typical response is to try to be more productive, right? We try to answer emails faster, check off more tiny little tasks, but all that does is make us run faster on what the authors call the hamster wheel of productivity. We're spinning and spinning, but we're not actually getting anywhere meaningful. We just end up exhausted, which makes us even more likely to get distracted.
So this is the big reveal. We have to get off the wheel. The solution isn't about cramming more stuff into our day or being a productivity machine. It's about a fundamental shift in our thinking to intentionally make time for the things that actually matter to us.
And here's the roadmap to do it. It's a super simple 4-step daily practice. Number 1, highlight. You choose a single priority for the day. 2, laser. You beat distraction to protect that time. 3, energize. You use your body to fuel your brain. And 4, reflect. At the end of the day, you adjust and improve your system. Let's break each one down.
All right, let's start with the foundation of this whole system, choosing a daily highlight. This one single act is how you flip the switch from being reactive to being proactive.
So instead of just letting the day happen to you, you start by asking this really powerful question. A highlight is just one activity, maybe 60 to 90 minutes long, that you decide is the most important thing you want to get done or experience today. It becomes the anchor, the North Star for your entire day.
But how do you pick one? Well, there are 3 great ways to think about it. You could pick something based on urgency. You know, what's on fire and just has to get done. Or you could pick it based on satisfaction. What's that one thing that if you finished it would make you feel amazing? Or, and this one's so important, you can pick something based on pure joy. What's something you would just love doing today?
Okay, so you've picked your highlight. Awesome. Now comes the tricky part. Actually protecting that time from all the distractions that are trying to steal it away. And that brings us to step 2, getting laser focused.
The authors use such a great metaphor for this. They say that all those pings and notifications on our devices are like the sirens from the Odyssey. You know, their beautiful songs lure sailors to crash their ships on the rocks. Well, our phones are calling us to the rocks of wasted time. And just like Odysseus, we can't rely on willpower alone to resist them.
We have to be smart about it. We have to build our own mass to tie ourselves to. This just means creating tiny little barriers between you and your distractions. Delete that one super distracting app from your phone. Log out of social media accounts so you have to actually think before logging back in. Turn off almost all your notifications. These simple little tweaks make it so much easier to stay on course.
But focus isn't just a mental game, right? To have the brain power for deep work, you need actual physical energy. And this brings us to the third crucial step: energize your day.
The philosophy here is actually pretty simple. Our bodies and brains spent thousands of years evolving for a very different life than the one we have now. The authors call it the caveman approach. The idea is to have more energy, we need to sync up our modern lives with some of those ancient basic principles of just being a human. And I mean, look at the difference. Our modern default is to sit all day, eat processed food, and stare at screens by ourselves. But our bodies are actually wired for something completely different: constant movement, real food, and real connection with other people. Now, the goal isn't to go live in a cave, it's just to try and close that gap in small, easy ways.
And the great news is that tiny changes have a huge impact. You can just move your body for 20 minutes a day, or even try one of those quick 7-minute workouts online. Here's a simple food trick. Fill your plate with salad or veggies first, before anything else. And this is a pro tip for coffee drinkers. Drink your caffeine 30 minutes before you usually feel that afternoon slump. You'll head it off completely. These little things give you a massive return on energy. So, you've set a highlight, you've gotten laser focused, and you've boosted your energy. But here's the last piece of the puzzle, the one that ties it all together and makes sure this actually becomes a habit. You have to reflect and refine.
Look, this system is not about being perfect, at all. It's about becoming a scientist in the laboratory of your own life. You try a few tactics, you see what happens, and you slowly figure out what actually works for you. It's all about making small, continuous improvements.
And the process is so simple. At the end of the day, just take 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes, and jot down the answers to these questions. Did you make time for your highlight? Which little tricks did you try? What worked? What didn't? And just give your focus and your energy a quick rating from 1 to 10. This daily feedback is what helps you customize the system so it sticks for good.
So how do you even start? I mean, the book has over 80 different tactics, which can feel like a lot. But don't get overwhelmed. The key is just to pick one small thing to experiment with tomorrow. Maybe you'll choose a highlight that's purely for fun, or maybe you'll just delete one social media app, or commit to a 7-minute walk. Remember, small, consistent experiments are what lead to real change.
And that brings us right back to where we started. This whole system really depends on that one proactive decision you make at the beginning of the day. So as we wrap up here, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Don't just let tomorrow happen. You decide. What's your highlight going to be?